a ceart chuman Ibrahim na man an taim ceart chuman a cheas le cumas réadhlóideach na Sóivéidí. Plus fáwer a tugad don néilech den néilech na ceannarí ceart chuman leathnú na Sóivéidí. Anjóin agóid an WWU, chuig cursaí in Olcas. Bhí ceannarí rúisip an Loch Dibre an níhil ag líri an bhain amháint den cúlta bhí cruthaithe ag na gnáthúil. Agus sochriúil nach chuirtí aine aig I dachan líte fi nach nerd. Borim sin agus géile do bhrú hin féin, agus gur ben bheith sa talcán pobl ref faoi cheist an neamsplóchas. Sopni vorder ó hin féin a ra a geanarí a géirí an bhain amháint de fruntabal an tóisílachas a bhachaig luaí íosbórach dí na dála.
Here, I have a piece of paper here. It's from the Democratic Programme of the First Dawn. It's a short quote from it, but I won't read it. The nation's sovereignty extends not only to all the men and women of the nation, but to all its material possessions, the nation's soil and all its resources, all the wealth and all the wealth-producing processes within the nation. That means all of us here and all of us in this country own every bit of this country. If we pursue this, every child in this country will have an equal chance. If we don't, all we're changing is the accents of the powerful and the colour of the flag.
Fwy líon níd ag fithe hain, bé an fiála rinne ceannarí glúisip don Loch Dibre arthú, cínti sé nach mé pobla tóisílach mar a haulig an héad dál go dio ann. Níd ag fithe hain, bhí glúisip don Loch Dibre cartha den fórc ag an dáil. Bhrach an dáil Croáte ag Stailcíne agus Sóivéidí, nó ba é neamsplóchas pulitú agus an stracail darmha an clog bhó ar a patrín. Nó ba léir go raibh neamsplóchas éigean ar na Bacáin, chus ag búlan scí ó na náisiúnatha ar an éite dheis. Ní gcónaí a chachar an obair sin na ceannasaithe áitiúla an IRA.
Tá sé sa léir in san rialtas hénig gur dtíine cosúla artógréfa cosgribh is le héana bhí annach nádag amachchas amach. A bhí ar an éite dheis amachchas amach ó thaobh cuasaí ach na méachta. Bhí agla ortha go raiach na glúiseachtaí úd bhfad níos faide ná mar a hastig uair siúd sé sin le rá go nóir dódíis gá le athrú bunúsach sosialta cilíonn sé sin athrú sosialach athrú réabhlóideach.
Hold on a minute, hold on. There's a war on, right? We have one objective, to get the British out of Ireland. And the Sweeneys of this world...
Well, a sus chuí gúlach idir an bhratan agus trudarí na saoirse in níú níos ag fithe hain.
You know, in the name of God. Well said, Rory boy, well said.
So we'll paint the town Republican green, but underneath we're still the same as the English.
No, we're not the same as the English.
Yeah, we're not that.
Better than painting it fucking red anyway.
Nuair a tuigeadh go mbeadh neamsplóchas ag teacht, tháinig aislení éagsúla chun cinn go drámata, maidir le cadba bhríle neamsplóchas go díreach.
Are we shooting, alright? Alright, Ned. How much land do you want? Answer me, come on. Have you a blade of grass to your name?
No, not a blade, no.
Right, you're paupers, just like me. Now you're going to take a look up and down this country and see the amount of volunteers that are involved in land seizures and cattle drives. Now do you want to know why that's happening, do you?
That's enough of that.
It's not enough of it. The IRA are backing the landlords and crushing people like you and me.
Bhí feidhena ag an mreachtain I dtéarmaí an Loch Dibre de. Níl a stáit míleach sóisialta bhuaí mar chósa. Bhí na Brittany agus iad siúd a bhí ag plé leis an gunra a bréachta faoi tionchar fres na Breataine den éite dheis a thuairiscigh rath na Sóivéidí in éireann.
There was a fear that the revolution in Ireland was turning radical, because the main reason why the political prisoners on hunger strike were released so quickly was because of the intervention of the labour movement.
Siach an Loch Dibre na chuid den díosmóach den ishi fwy mahas a bhánach leis an gunra angla éarnach. Chui an cuireann sin las Stephen náisiúnachas in Olcas a raibh cogad catharga mar thura air, agus fórmhór na radachach is na sosialathe in aid an chonartha. Mellows, a cuiú I brisún as na ceir cuairteanna a dáháil. We are forced to recognize, whether we like it or not, that the commercial interests, so-called, money and the Gombean men, are on the side of the treaty, because the treaty means imperialism and England. Haki ceannarí gurúiseach an Loch Dibre leis an gunra faoi host, ach faoi cuid a faoi mhaol a bhánach ló siúd a bhí ar son an chonartha. Porty an Loch Dibre Port go déanach I dáchán níos ag fiche dó. Freasar a gan wach gan dochar in ai rialtas chum na Whale a bheith sa seachtar teachtaí déal acu. Ibertí chunda na garad a bheith chuid den na leasachóirí sosiálta radacha bhó in lúiseach na Saoirse. Agus haar arm an teirstad chun bá siad. Scríb Padden O'Donnell go Garra the Dave, this heresy of the cult of armed men that brought Collins to imperialism and us to defeat. Bei príomhtheangail na bhórsaí a bhí in aig an chonartha ná poblacht na mún mar a thug sí orthaí féin. Na bailte taobh heas na lína trí limnach, Ibridór an Heas agus Fort Lariga. Bhí sóbhaintí an múnas na ceantar sin I gcónaí, go dtí gur gabhadh an fórsaí an ceir stáit iad. An an táhachtach tionscleachta a bheith carrigh na siúra, agus an don trádal abhainn a thug báid sios sús go Port Lariga. Le linde a bheith I lábha an IRA a bhí in aig an chonartha, bhí a díl cuiblantí saothar ann. Dómhar uachtal an charreg na siúra sóbhaid tar éis dá húnairí toirt faoi laidú trúcha trí faoin géad ar thuairistal. Bhí cuiblantí armtha ann le feirmóirí míleatacha a dúigh bainne a tholáthar gan tóbhéid. Dúirt úrnairí na feirmóirí gur a bheith a tóbhéid an chéad dro, phrases and famine, propaganda and pestilence, a bhil an rúis tóbhéidach. Ach dá an tóbhéid slár go dtí gur habh na séirstáitrí an baile I 1922. Rinne príosnach de Michael Banks, Ibrí agus Banistóir I Hala an baile. Ní bheith bhaint ná páirt ag an rialtas nua faoi Liam McCusker na bratacha dearga ná le sóbhéidí. Si is feag na siúra le fórsaí an chonartha. Hairstots a bhí go láide ar son de feirmóirí agus na Johnsglóirí in ann an chuideanna de na sóbhéidí a rúda gan Bhail Pinóis. Léirigh an cosar bullag ar fud chun de Fort Lariga in 1923 a raibh an nám de na heacnaí brehhuaite in éireann uair nua Nausblach. Ní raibh ag na hoibrithe feirme bochta ach chun lág go dtí an bhéal, agus iarú arthú blacham I trí dá túras suair.
In Waterford, there were two major strikes. One was in 1922, when labourers defeated an attempt to introduce wage cuts, and defeated it mainly because of the unsettled conditions in the country at the time, that the farmers weren't able to rely on the army and the police to crush the strike. But in 1923, the situation was more settled, and a major strike began in May.
An grúpi fermoí rabhad an mhuil faoi gríosarí sceibhleachórachta na brachaí deirge. Bunaíodh glúiseacht saoirse na bheirmeoirí chun carnáid na bagartha sin. I bhfuil láraga, dagad cuid na fermoirí a neard a bán hain, I chur sceibhle líomhairí ceart chumann, in Unaal, sa Fosnéfa, in mai an Butléiri, agus sa Baile Dubh.
The government had anticipated this and they created a special unit of the army known as the Special Infantry Corps, which was to be deployed in dealing with agricultural unrest. About 600 specials were deployed in Waterford during the farm strike. As well as that, the farmers themselves resorted to terror, and by September 1923 they had, some of them at least, formed a unit which called itself the White Guards. So you had this kind of miniature version of the Russian Civil War going on in Waterford between the Red Guards and the White Guards. They launched a series of attacks on the homes of Union secretaries, and in some cases they kidnapped Union secretaries and beat them up.
That strike lasted almost a whole year, but again, the tables were reversed. Whereas in 1922, the farmers conceded quite easily. In 1923, the agricultural workers were again beaten into the ground. But it was the Free State Army that helped do that and helped overcome the workers. One interesting comment was made by a Labour man coming up towards the end of the strike was that we neither have clothes, we have no food, and taking a box of matches out of his pocket, he said, but we have these. And that was sort of alluding to the fact that on many occasions hay sheds were burned and fields were burned, you know.
Anion gur thug an fórsa speisialathe armtha a seoladh acu ó bhaile áclaí a cosad dóibh, fós hain dulling right fermoirí díoltas. Bhí a bhuid stóras fér mar haragad ag na haibrithe mar hlí éifeachta chun freagart don imagla sa thugad cráite cníte se. Ach ní fada eile a bharthacht anghníomhaíocht radacach. Fuoi mar a tháinig sa rúis, chuir lucht gnó brúthúpa láide na bheirmeoirí agus níos tábhachtí fós an Anglis in a réabhlóid hóisialta de Heiser be, leasú fiú amháin.
The church like would be what happened as mother say death down on anybody who was talking about Bolshevism or strikes or communism or anything like that. The church, like by its nature, would have to be pro the farmers because, as say, most of the leaders of the church at the time were strong farmer sons. Because if you remember again, I mean, if you had to make a priest, like you had to pay his fees in the seminary, you couldn't afford to pay his fees in the seminary if you were a working man.
Faoi dhearadh 1923, bhí éireoid folíochta na hÉireann aithrithe bhang dochreite. Níor tugadh ard dá laiad íbertí cheannairí lúiseach don Loch Daoibhre le linn thugan na saoirse. Bhí saoirse anois acu, mar ja, saoch an bás áil den ocras, saoch an bád bán a thógant.